2020. So as we get, well, that's nice. We get the roses out of the way. Well done, Barbara. So thank you very much for being here this afternoon. And I'm going to be recording the session, if you don't mind, because that means that those that don't get to do it or see it, at least get an opportunity to hear what's going on. So what I really would like to do is to start with each of you just introducing yourself with your name, which area you're from, and then just one thing on your radar for yourself in 2020 that you hope to achieve through 50+ skills. That's important for me to know because it might be different for each of you. And so let's just, kind of go through that process, and hopefully by the time we finish the introductions, there'll be a few more people on the call. So, okay, should we start up in that top corner? Can all of you see one another? Are you all on gallery view? If not, go take your cursor to the top right-hand corner and change it from speaker view to gallery view, and just click on that, and it'll then bring you up in you should see 9 people on the screen. Can you all see 9 people on the screen now?
Yep.
Okay, great, wonderful. Okay, Kay, off you go.
Thanks everybody. Thanks Linda. Kay Darborn, also from Hartbeespoort. Most of my focus is around longevity. Hence a lot of the information I find from 50+ skills is brilliant, and meeting people I think is absolutely wonderful. My focus for myself this year and my learning is around nature and natural issues and products. And I need to learn personally to chill and relax more. So that's going to be my focus for this year. Not so much work, a bit more play.
So from a 50+ perspective, does that mean I've got to buy you more wine?
Absolutely.
Okay, great, wonderful. What about you, Beth?
What I'd like to, I'm from Johannesburg, and what I'd like to achieve is a little bit more me time.
Okay, but from 50+ perspective.
Beg your pardon?
From a 50+ skills perspective, what can we offer you?
More learning and more networking.
Okay, great, wonderful. Okay, Margie, let's go to you next.
Get that right, yeah. Okay, I'm Margie van Sale Chapman from Cape Town. I run a little company called Take the Lead, and my focus is on healthy aging. And I teach caregivers in old age homes and retirement villages. I teach all the care staff around healthy aging and a program of exercises to keep moving. And I also facilitate the South African Care Forum across the country. So my goal for 2020 is continued networking and hopefully to grow my little business more, to reach more caregivers and train them, improve their health literacy.
Okay. Remind me afterwards, Margie, there's someone in Canada I want to introduce you to.
Okay.
So just remind me afterwards. I've connected with him after my talk on Dori Mintz's show last year. So I think he's very interested in physical activities around aging.
Great.
Okay, great. Thanks, Margie. Marilyn?
Hi, everybody. Marilyn from Cape Town. Excuse the frog in the throat. I run You've Earned It, which is an online retirement platform. And as we go into this new decade of healthy aging, I kind of feel if we don't have our health, we have nothing. Oh, what's that? That's anyway.
Birds in the background.
Yeah, that's me. Sorry.
Adidas.
Oh, is it Hardy-Dars? Yeah. Should be used to them down here. But our main, You've Earned It's main focus this year is to try and meet the challenges of assisting pensioners in their pockets this year. There's a lot of pensioners, like Linda, we've talked about this many times, a lot of people out there who are hurting, and we want to see what we can do with corporates, with small business, with everybody, to see how we can have pensioners in their pockets.
Great, thank you. Sorry, the Hardy-Dars were here at the dam. What can I say? Barbara and Andrew?
There you go. Okay.
Okay, so we're unmuted now, I think. Tell me if you can't hear. I'll let Barbara speak for herself. From my side, what I got out of the 50 Plus Skills conference in November was opportunities to expand what we're doing in terms of the part of our lives that represents give back. And we are working with the Depression and Anxiety group. And I'm mentoring a young South African who lives in Kuwait to launch his online business. And so that for me is two meaningful ways in which I can use the experience that I've built up over very many years to share with other people in some form or fashion. So if there are other ways in which we can continue to do that and to expand our give back efforts, then that would be great for me. What do you say?
Absolutely. What we've already learned in that conference of yours was amazing, Linda. It put us in touch with so many incredible people, and we followed up on a lot of those. So those have all been kind of giving back opportunities. I'd also welcome the opportunity to earn some more money to fund what are going to be very expensive travels this year, because both our kids have leaving South Africa. So who is that gorgeous young girl who you've also been interacting with? Excuse me, I've gone completely blank. We've had a very interesting day. But, you know, to actually be able to offer our skills and in exchange, hopefully for a little bit, you know, more cash to extend our travels. So that's also what I would value. But I mean, so far it's been brilliant, and working with SADC has been quite extraordinary. So thank you.
Great. Frank?
Yes, my name is Frank Davis. I'm from Pretoria. What would I like to get out of 50 plus skills this year? I'm not sure it's directly involved, but I would like to do some travel. Like Andrew and Barbara, also following kids that are currently out of the country. So maybe some tips from your presentation a while ago, Barbara, could be quite interesting. Also to put our house on the market and get it sold. I know it's a difficult market. And then more, I think, from the 50 plus skills side would be to which I have picked up in the past, some learning as well, is on the technology side. So there's been some really interesting stuff, and that is up my street as well.
Great, thanks, Frank. Alison? Alison, we can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'm at the Vaal Dam, at the Gauteng side. And for me, the reason for being on the 50 plus skills platform is to interact with the database that Linda is developing, so that I hopefully can connect up with businesses that are needing my services.
Sean.
Okay, I'm Sean Lindberg. I'm talking to you from Wolmaranstad in Northwest today. I travel between here, Joburg, and Cape Town. Hopefully selling my nature reserve. We hopefully hear about Friday. This has been a 16-year journey, but that's, yeah, so this year my focus 100% is on an accelerated retirement plan that I'll be launching. I developed the basic concept in 2009 when my nature reserve development crashed, and I had to find another way to rebuild the billions that I lost. And I promised that I wouldn't teach it until I got my own act together. And so 10 years later, I'm now putting this together to launch it. It is a lot bigger than my own skills. And so one of the things I'm looking at within the 50 plus skills is to find collaboration with like-minded people who are interested in this kind of space. Because I think that the only guarantee for a stress-free retirement is actually to get rich. And yet very few people make getting rich an intentional goal in their lives for various reasons. And part of my process is helping people to see how to do that with the least amount of risk. And that's my game. So that's my focus, 100%. Selling my base reserve will allow me to do it 100% without having to rely too much on consulting work to keep it afloat. Yeah.
Thanks, Sean. Buzz, are you with us?
Yes, I am. I've just got some technicalities that I'm fiddling with.
Are you on the beach or are you just trying to make us joke?
No, I don't know why my screensaver has come up as my picture. But don't worry, I'll figure it out in the background. Sorry for being late.
No problem. All that we need you to do is just introduce yourself, where you are, and what you're hoping to get out of 50 plus this year.
Okay. Well, I am a life and business coach, and I'm adjunct faculty at the Gordon Institute of Business Science. The work I do involves sort of three basic legs. I coach with individuals, teams, and organizations. I facilitate employee growth and development in the management, leadership, and strategic spaces, and I teach various subjects at the business school. And recently started a business called Professional Conversations, which is an online platform for people like ourselves to transact completely online with clients all over the world. What I'm hoping to get out of 50 plus, I think I'm just looking to contribute and to learn from very wise people that have been around the block, so that all of us could create more value for each other, really.
Great, Buzz. That's wonderful. And it's 10 years this year that we celebrate. When I did refinement, social entrepreneurship at Gibbs, Buzz was one of my lecturers, and each of us were assigned a personal coach. And Buzz was my personal coach that year. So I am grateful for that journey that we walked. It's 10 years now, Buzz.
Yeah. And it's just actually wonderful to see what you have created, Linda. And you are an inspiration to me, and I'm sure many others as well. So it's really cool to be involved with a community like this.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so there are one or two trying to call me and WhatsApp me on the side here with what is the code and what is the Zoom link, and but I'm focused on those of you who are on the screen because I can't multitask that much. So what I'm going to do now is I'm quickly just going to talk you through a few of the kind of big picture strategy thinking that we have. And then we can open again up to some dialogue, and I'm going to share the screen just now a little bit with some just to show you the back end a little bit. So up until now, our current activities have been building the listing, and we kind of just broke the barrier of the 200 members at the end of last year. So we were very happy about that. And the workshops that we were running face to face were the life planning workshop, which is the free workshop for members, as well as then at least one monthly Zoom session, mostly focused on learning. I think last year we did 2 dialogue sessions with National Mentoring Movement and with Partners for Possibility. And then we ended the year with the conference that was sponsored by Just, which was a real highlight for us. And then First Rand came on board as our first corporate client with 800 employees who will be retiring from First Rand over the next 5 years. So that was it takes a long time to crack a corporate client. They are the hardest. It pays off when it happens, but it certainly is not the simplest. So those are kind of the moments that we celebrated and where we were up until the end of 2019. What we're going to be doing in 2020 is that we are 6 months into the renewal process, and thank you. There are a few of you on the screen who are already in year 2 and have renewed. And so thank you for that. And so that brought the question about, if you've been to the life planning workshop, is there another workshop you can come to in your second year? Or you may choose to want to go to the other workshop. So we've introduced a second workshop, which is going to be around communication, technology, and social media, and building a personal brand. So it's specifically around tools to help you take yourself from where you are to where you may be. And you can choose which workshop you want to come to for your free one in the 12-month period. So that's a new one that we haven't done a date yet. We have a date for our life planning one in Joburg, which is the 28th of January. So that's happening in January. And we're actually holding it at the Financial Planning Institute. They're coming on board as one of our MPO partners. And they have offered us their boardroom as one of the places where we can train, which is great because they've got great parking and a great, beautiful boardroom that facilitates up to 20 people together. So that's what we're going to do from the face-to-face workshop point of view. We've decided to add more Zoom sessions because the Zoom sessions help us to engage easily from wherever we are with our entire base. And it's also a way where I'm hoping to kind of encourage more people to learn the skill. I think there are probably a lot. So I think there are 40 of you that registered in total for the call out of 200. And, you know, there's a session now and there's a session tonight. So, you know, what is getting in the way? Is it time? And I guarantee for many, it's a lack of never having done Zoom before. And so, you know, when was the last time you did something for the first time? I want us to challenge one another to do that, because that's how we will grow. And Loretta and I had a conversation this morning, and I said, you know, Stephen Covey says, it's one thing to learn a skill, but when you teach it to others. And for me, the Zoom platform has become better as I've had to manage calls and teach it to others. And so, you know, start somewhere, and being on these calls is the first place, because it opens up ideas for you of how else you could use it. So the kinds of calls that we want to do are Zoom stories, about inspirational stories of members' stories, because I think those are of interest to each other and will help more of you to be able to build what you're doing and share it with others. We will carry on doing the sort of monthly skills by members for members, like we did with LinkedIn or the Enneagram and those kinds of things. And then the third one is that I want to introduce the NPOs to lead some of the Zoom sessions, talking about what they do in their organizations. I think when I reflect back on the conference, we had a panel discussion with 3 or 4 of the nonprofits to the members that were in the audience. And Andrew and Barbara, I think, will attest to the fact that the NPOs are the glue that hold us together and offer amazing opportunities to us. But unless you speak to them and you hear more from them, you're not even aware where or what they can offer. And so, you know, we want to bring those in on a monthly basis as well. And then we'll do the ad hoc ones like these, and then the ad hoc one at the end of the month, which I'm going to talk about with Senior Planet in the United States. So that's from a Zoom perspective. And then we want to start introducing face-to-face coffee meetings, purely just because as much as Zoom is fantastic, we are a demographic group who also like to meet face-to-face. And I think as we grow, we can build more of those, you know, around the country. So we're going to, at this stage, we haven't created Quicket links for those. We've done them via the closed Facebook group as events. And so far, there are 4 different ones that will start in February. On the 4th of February at Cradlestone Mall. They're all from 10 to 12. We will start running some later in the afternoon and different times, but we just want to try to see what kind of response we get. Then the East Rand at Greenstone Mall on the 6th of Feb. Hearties at the Coves Bistro at, on the 7th. And in Pretoria East at Cafe 41 on the 13th. So all you need to do is, and those are all Joburg based. We will try and create one in Cape Town and in the other areas around the country as well. So, and really those 2 hours in the beginning will be driven by the members for us. And all we're going to do is make it, everybody pays for their own beverages. If you want something to eat, pay for it. If you want coffee, if you want to bring your water bottle, bring your water bottle, so that it's a case of being engaging with people. This is where collaboration might happen, and connections and networking will grow locally and organically, and we can talk about the needs of the local community. Because the one thing I know from specifically building the My School model is that we have to focus on the local community if we want to build 50 plus across the country. We're going to need ambassadors to grow, in different areas of the country. I'm trialing that at the moment with 3 ambassadors. Loretta, your picture's not on the screen, but Loretta is in PE, and Eddie's helping me grow in Cape Town. And that's Eddie's picture. That's not Eddie. So Eddie also. So yeah. So, and then the 3rd area that we're growing is in Nelspruit, and with Melody Tomlinson. So those are kind of starting to build the framework of what that would mean around the country. So I really would encourage you, and you can go to as many of the coffee sessions. As Beth told me before the rest of you joined the call, she's coming from Joburg out to Hearties because she wants to come and meet with us out there, which is fantastic. So go to as many of those as you like. And then we will also organize some dialogues, and I'm hoping for 3 sponsored conferences this year. So similar to the Just one that we did in November, I'm going to constantly knock on the door of big business and find ways to do at least 1 in Cape Town and another 2 in Joburg or elsewhere in the country during the year. Right, then what I want to show you now is I want to just share the screen and show you 2 things. Firstly, the back end from the benefits page, and then I want to go onto the website and just show you a new feature that we've just added. So let me just see if I can get this right. As I can see you on the screen, can you just do me a thumbs up if you can see the screen? Okay, perfect. So I've gone in onto the back end and logged in, and this is my profile. And please, I just need everybody to make sure that they've got a picture. And then if you will see here on the dashboard is a column that says benefits. And if you click on that, it comes up with this section, which gives you the dates for workshops, online Zoom sessions, the coffee events, plus links to workshops and our social media links. And then some of our members have offered member discounts or ways of engaging with their skill sets with other members. And so at this stage, we've put these up here. We will probably look to finding different ways of doing this going forward. But for now, these are some of the different offers that are available. And then obviously, if you go back to my profile, searching different individual members, making sure that this is the reason why you need to do this, is to make sure that this section, all about me, is filled in properly, and especially the first 2 sentences. And I'm going to show you why now. So I'm going to go out of the back end back to the website. So on the front page of the website, if you scroll down, we now have a section of featured members. So there you are, Sean, Eddie, Frank. Oh, that was a good one. I promise you I didn't do this for who was going to be on the call today. But we now have featured members, but it only picks up the first 2 lines, or the so many characters of what you've got in the All About Me section. And so please, if you can, just go back and have a look at yours and make it as succinct as possible in those first 2, so that at least people can see a little bit more about you. And then at least this helps us to profile, and I will change these on a regular basis on the back end, so that we can profile as many members as possible on a regular basis. At least 50% of the members do not have pictures up, and I can't put them up. It's not good for their brand or for our brand. And so, I really want to spend some time or to engage to help people to make sure that they get their personal brand as succinct as possible to what they need. I'm hoping that that's going to be a way of bringing more people to see the heartbeat of who we are, and then wanting to engage more. The second thing we're going to try and bring in this year, but I'm just waiting for our engineer to finish, and then I will put it through in one of the newsletters, is we're going to find a way for everybody to have an affiliate link code, and you can send that code to anybody you want to encourage to become a paid member. And when they register on the back end with that affiliate code, it will register against your name to take 100 Rand off your next year's fee. So we'll work in a way that you will need to have got 5 members during the year to not pay your membership fee. And we're hoping that, again, it's the inner circle of the members who probably have the best opportunity to encourage others to join. And at the same time, make sure that that's of use and incentivizes them as well. And that's completely up to you. If you don't need to do it, but it's a feature that we feel may be of use for other people, but it's not up yet. And then, the other thing that's critical is the closed Facebook group for me is a critical place where we can share brilliant articles, whether they're local or international, around a whole bunch of subjects, but obviously mostly around the kinds of things that 50+ skills members are keen to know about. So that's obviously in learning as well as opportunities. And the opportunities can come from any of us. So I think it was you, Sean, the other day who posted something of someone in Pretoria that you had seen, and you posted it up. If you see anything and you feel that it would be of worth to somebody, to post it in that group, for me is a valuable contribution. And you commenting or posting yourself when there is something that's either of interest to you and to the group, I value as much collaboration and contribution as possible, because that's the richness of the site. It's in the co-creation and the collaboration and the connections as we grow and teach and learn from one another, that the richness of what is possible becomes a reality. And Peter Totoy has he uses it quite often in his training, and I'm kind of seeing in a social media world that is quite evident, is if you're on social media but you say nothing, you're invisible. You may not be invisible because you're taking in, and that's okay, but you're not visible. So he talks about practicing to become visible. in sharing different things that are of critical value to you. And then the other thing I just want to say to all of you, by just out of interest sake again, is I posted a link to an ebook that's on Amazon on the gig economy by an American author, Paul Estes. I've been following him for about 2 years, read his weekly posts and his newsletter, and the stuff he's been posting is brilliant. And he's launched a book this week. The Amazon price is $15, but for 1 week he's selling it at $1. $1.14 because of our VAT. I'm on about chapter 4 of the book. I have had more than enough value for what he's teaching. And really, it's not just about getting involved in the gig economy. It's understanding what the gig economy brings to all of us in being able to work differently. So even if, there's very little that you learn, if you have an ebook reader or you have the Kindle app on your phone, if you don't have a Kindle, buy it. It's worth the 15 Rand it's going to cost you. And then lastly from my side is that on the 30th of January at 7 o'clock at night, we're going to be doing a Zoom call with an organization in the States called Senior Planet, with a girl called Judy Ruff leading it. She works at Senior Planet in Denver. I have known her for about 3 years and worked constantly with her through Age Without Borders. And Senior Planet is a tech incubators for people over 50 to learn different tech skills, computer skills, but it's also a place where social engagement in interaction happens for all the members. And my heart is very jealous of the fact that they have sponsorship in the US for those kinds of incubators. And I would love to have something similar here, because the lack of isolation and social engagement, as well as learning tech skills, is one of the things I am concerned about for older people, is because so much is being automated that the isolation for those who are not prepared to open themselves up to learning is going to be even more evident. So this is a two-way conversation between her members of Senior Planet in Denver and members of 50 Plus in South Africa. And it's more of a cross-cultural conversation around what is it like in the States to find work in this phase or whatever. And who knows where the political questions will come up or what will come up, but between Judy and I, we'll lead the conversation. So she will raise the link and I will then put it up, but watch out for that in a newsletter. But 7 o'clock on the 30th of January. And that date's been set by them. So, and again, I think they're 9 hours different from us. So it has to be an evening session for us because it's only 9 or 10 in the morning at that point for them. Great. So that really is in a nutshell what I wanted to share with you. So anybody got any comments? Just raise your hand and unmute yourself when I kind of say to you. Okay, Frank. Unmute yourself, Frank.
Clicking the wrong button, you see. You said early on that you think a number of people are scared or not comfortable to use Zoom if they haven't used it before. My experience is it's literally a few keystrokes to get loaded and connected, and then 1 or 2 functionality buttons during the actual Zoom meeting. Would it be an idea maybe to put a very simple step-by-step tutorial together and send it to all of your paid-up members to maybe take away that fear, if you think that's what it could be?
I think that would be a brilliant idea. Are you putting up your hand to help me do that?
I'll do that. Yeah, with pleasure.
Because I looked in December for a video from Zoom actually, but they're too complicated. Sometimes, I think it would be good to have a Zoom one as well. I mean, a video one. But I think if we did a one-pager that made it quite easy for people to understand, that would certainly help more people. It's definitely a step in the right direction. Alison?
All right.
I did something like that a few years ago for my clients, and I'm happy to send it to you, and then you can build around that and improve upon it.
Thank you, Alison. That's a great start. Thank you. And you know, sometimes it is the piece of paper that they click through steps 1 to 5 that will bring more people. But I think there's still a whole bunch who don't even know that they fear it. You know, that's until you actually sit down with them. Okay, I'm going to ask you that question. You know, how did you get from where you were uncomfortable to comfortable?
I think I'm quite fortunate, Linda, that I have you around. So I can have the telephone one side and the laptop and all the bits and pieces. But I think the thing is to find a way to give people the confidence to give it a go. So you were talking earlier about doing a session to say how you achieve things. Yeah. Perhaps that kind of thing might help others. So maybe a written thing about how I learned how to do some of the stuff. I mean, I found the other day that I couldn't find a course that I'd ordered. And as you know, I'm quite good at ordering courses and things and not doing them. But I couldn't find this course. So I actually ordered another course for something else, and blow me, I went to the website and there was a freaking previous course that I'd ordered. So there are a few things that tech-wise, maybe we still don't know, and we need to help others to feel confident to do things.
Yeah.
So it might be useful.
Wonderful. Thank you. And Buzz, thank you. Have you just put up a link for us of a video? Yeah. Okay. I thought so. You see, he's younger than some of us. He can multitask too. Okay. Who else wants to say something? Any questions about what we're adding, what you will enjoy, do you think? Andrew?
I just wanted you to give us the name of the author of that book on the gig economy, please.
It's Paul Estes, I think it is. Let me just look. I'll look.
What's the book called?
It's called The Gig Economy.
Yeah, I was on to Kindle and it didn't come up with that.
Let me just.
It is Paul Estes, Linda, I think.
It is Estes, hey?
It's actually called Gig Mindset.
Gig Mindset.
Mindset.
Gig Mindset, and it's Paul Estes.
I did order it through for my Kindle this morning, so it's around on Amazon.
Yeah, I bought it yesterday on Kindle as well.
Okay, pleasure.
We're good.
Okay, anybody else? Yes, Margie.
Yeah, just to say thanks for thinking about adding a different workshop for those who've attended the first one around planning. So the one around tools to build your personal brand will be great. Thank you very much.
Pleasure, pleasure.
Look forward to a date in Cape Town.
Yes, I will. I'll make sure I'm in Cape Town soon. Okay. Simon, you haven't had a chance to introduce yourself. Do you want to say hi?
Yeah, hi.
To say where you are, and that the question I asked everybody in the beginning was, what are you hoping to achieve through your 50+ membership this year?
Okay, I'm in Randburg. And the thing that I'm really interested in, okay, I've basically spent my whole life in the software industry. So some of the things that other people have with things like Zoom are not a problem for me. But as I've just pointed out, a lot of our generation don't like videos. They want something written down. It's actually easier to follow if it's written down. One of the things that I'm really interested in is a senior planner, because if we can get something kicked off along that line, here, I would love to be involved in that. That to me is a great thing. I do a few other things. I'm a what they call a Salesforce administrator, which is a software side of things. but you know, I really enjoy. I've been teaching, been helping teach some retired people about computers last year, and I really enjoyed it. It was really interesting for me. So I'd love to. So that Senior Planet thing would be a great goal for me to aim for.
Great, wonderful. Thank you, Simon. What about you, Loretta?
Hello, sorry about that. Yeah, I think just from last year, from joining from last year, I think it's amazing how much that I've learned, and part of it is just joining the Zoom meeting. By the way, hello everybody, I'm in PE, and I think it is just stepping out of our comfort zones and trying things, and that's, I think you said it earlier today as well, and it's, you know, the best way to learn something is to do it.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, just sitting there and worrying and not doing anything, we won't learn and we won't grow. But if you just, and I don't think I'm completely computer illiterate. I've just come out of corporate and I'm used to working with a lot of programs, but not so much with this type of Zoom sessions. We had started to use Skype a little bit for meetings at work, but it was very much at the beginning stages. So I think it's just getting our feet wet and getting in there, and then we learn as we go along, you know.
Yeah, and as Peter du Toit would say, there's a big difference between computer skills and digital literacy skills. And the internet and smartphone technology, that's the shift we need to make, is to open ourselves up to that set of skills. And so when you've got to learn both, it becomes a massive challenge, which is, of course, one of the reasons why so many people are scared. Eddie, do you want to just introduce yourself as well?
Hi, everybody. I'm in Cape Town. I was glowing a bit earlier, so I just needed to cool down first because I was just shining. Yeah, I've been involved in early childhood development and community development before. Actually worked with Linda, and I'm currently doing some financial literacy with some pension fund administrators, doing pension financial literacy education to members via platform and a little bit in online coaching and stuff. So yeah, like ask Buzz to teach us how to do a nice cool backdrop. I see he disappears every now and then. He's quite a magician there.
And my school backdrop, or a 50.
No, he's got a nice cool backdrop there with beaches cool. And stuff.
Yeah, it is very cool. Yeah, yeah. What are you hoping to get out of it this year, Eddie?
Well, I think my first year I managed to actually get a client out of it. So I think there's always that opportunity to engage with other members and support their journey, and you know, if you have a skill that they can utilize, and I think that's what the gig mindset is about. How do you strip what you need to achieve with and setting up a second career, and you don't know how to do everything. How do you allow some of the other members to do something for you in a professional way, something you might not be familiar with, or you don't have the time. So I think in that sense, promote that collaborative sort of spirit more and more between the members, and to grow, yeah, make it a bigger family.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, anybody else? Thanks, Eddie. Happy? We don't have to go to the top of the hour if we're done. No more burning issues? Thank you. I appreciate it. I will then see you on the wherever next, hopefully the 30th with the Senior Planet scenario. But I will make sure you get all that information, and then at a coffee session in Feb. Thanks, everybody.
Good. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, everyone.
Pleasure.